Halloween, and I don't know where are we going. We're still in Halloween because I'm not in the holiday spirit. WWE keeps firing people. It pisses me off. We're in a bad mood, and that's why we need the incense. We need to settle down. Is that smoke real or border? It's real. It's real. It's an incense. Anyway, good luck. Thanks, Aries. Appreciate that. I can smell that Taco Bell beef. Am I having a stroke? It's real incense. Ah, yes. Okay. So we're gonna talk about 3 shows tonight, all wrestling shows. So yeah, there's a few people from my real world here. Thank you, appreciate you for being here. But you're not gonna like what you want to hear. This is all wrestling talk, and I'm gonna be an asshole all night long, and I'm gonna be mad and upset, and then I'm gonna be very happy, and I'm gonna praise the thing that I say that I'm pissed off at. That's wrestling. That's wrestling. It's ironic. It's that song from Alanis Morissette, which the people I work with they don't know who Alanis Morissette is. It makes me sad, but it's ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's like that. That's what watching WWE is like. It's like rain on your wedding day, and you hate the rain. I personally love the rain, but so we're gonna talk about it. We will begin with SmackDown, and we're gonna do a Speedy SmackDown because again, I was not happy about the releases. They release Keith Lee, they release Scarlett Bordeaux, they release Karrion Kross, they release Ember Moon, they release all of these superstars. B Fab from Hit Row, they release her. For what reasons? For what reasons? So WWE made me very, very upset this past week. And, people even on my YouTube, people who are probably watching this video right now are saying, hey, where's T-Mode? Well, I don't really feel like doing T-Mode right now. I would rather play Mario Party Superstars, which is a much better time than sitting here watching T-Mode and going, God, I really wish that I could just play Keith Lee, but I can't because he's gone. Now his name is something different now or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's just really annoying when the game that you want to play and you have a good idea for and people want to see it. And by people, I mean one people. But people want to see it. I can't do it because WWE keeps making fucked up decisions about their roster. And they keep disrespecting not only the wrestling industry, but the people who build it. And that is the wrestlers themselves. They have never appreciated the behind-the-scenes people, and now they don't give a fuck about their current people either, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Rant over. We're going to talk about Speedy Smackdown after I take a hit of this Pepsi. Okay. Speedy Smackdown. And again, super speedy because they took they took a lot of the roster out. Okay, like the T-Mode roster, Ember Moon, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee gone, and it's really annoying. So Roman Reigns out. Heyman and the Usos are with him. Roman Reigns took a week off, and I noted this. I remember in the last Profit Report, one of the two, I remember saying, "Where was Roman Reigns? Where is like Edge? Where is like Lesnar? Like where are these people?" Okay, whatever. I noticed that last week. Heyman is amazing in this opening segment. Roman Reigns saying, I took a week off. Why did I take a week off? Because I'm the champion. And I beat Brock Lesnar. Doesn't that deserve a vacation? So I really like this here. Again, it's not the people or the writers or anything in WWE. It's the disrespect. Booking the same matches again and again is annoying and irritating. And making these superstars say the most dumb, ridiculous, silly shit is dumb and annoying. Just let them speak. They are talented. Give them a microphone. They can do it. And it's clear that Roman Reigns is off the leash here as the big dog in the middle of the ring. He looks uncomfortable, Paul Heyman. He's sitting there listening to Roman Reigns talk shit about Brock Lesnar, who Paul Heyman is really, really good friends with and the advocate for from time to time. And Roman Reigns, the champion, is sitting there talking mad shit about Roman Reigns. And he does it perfectly. He's uncomfortable. He's with Roman Reigns. He's on the team of Roman Reigns. But he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't agree, but I have to agree because I work for you. And I'm scared of you. And I'm intimidated. But I don't agree. But kind of. So Roman's pretty upset at the Usos for losing last week in a tag team match to the New Day. New Day comes out. They acknowledge the local town. And this is what you do, right? This seems to be what the New Day is going to be all about. Cheap pop crowd. Happy stuff. And I'm okay with that. There's a lot of people in the WWE and wrestling podcast type business that don't like how happy-go-lucky the New Day are. I appreciate how happy they are. I appreciate that they're always loyal to each other. I don't ever want to see them break up. I don't ever want to see them turn heel on each other. I don't want to see that because it's the one group in WWE history, and maybe even in wrestling history, that has never really broken up as an angle. And so I don't ever want it to happen. I want them to be the only group to have never broken up. And tag team history, like, these guys are, bar none, one of the best ever. Definitely a Mount Rushmore tag team. They've been doing this for almost 7-ish years now. It's insane. So they come out, they pop the crowd. They say, hey, we're here in Evansville, Indiana. And I didn't even know what town we were in. Roman Reigns called the town insignificant and small, so of course that gets boos. So New Day comes out and acknowledges the town, which is upsetting to Roman Reigns. Of course, they lay down a challenge to Jimmy Uso. If Jimmy Uso can win against Xavier Woods one-on-one tonight, then they will acknowledge Roman Reigns as the head of the table. By the way, this is a great promo. There's a lot of talk here between Xavier Woods and Roman Reigns, and I really like that they're elevating Xavier Woods higher to that level. He's not there yet, but he is elevating, and I really like that. I appreciate it. Challenge laid out. Now, if Woods wins, Jimmy Uso bends the knee to King Woods. So this is a really good start to the show. Great segment. Fantastic. Got the crowd into it. You got the tribal chief. You got Roman Reigns. You got the king of the ring, Xavier Woods, and his hand of the king, Kofi Kingston, and they're doing their whole spiel. It's great. It's a fantastic segment. Heyman's doing his good work. The crowd is into it. And then SmackDown does SmackDown things. Naomi versus Shayna Baszler. A roll-up win for Naomi. Sonya Deville out. Sonya restarts the match in Kirifuda clutch. Naomi loses to Shayna. Again, this is like, I mean, I've seen it. Speedy SmackDown, let's move on. Roman Reigns in the back. Roman says, without the tribal chief, SmackDown sucked. So he's kind of tongue-in-cheek saying, yeah, Raw sucks. Nobody likes watching Raw. They all like watching SmackDown, which I really appreciate, not only because we're heading up to Survivor Series when SmackDown takes on Raw. That's usually the gimmick. I really appreciate that Roman Reigns is listening to the fans and delivering what he feels his character would be saying. So I really, really appreciate that, and I like these segments tonight with Roman Reigns. The Usos laugh, but Roman is upset. He says, well, I don't know what you're laughing for. Am I here to make you laugh? Am I a jester? Am I here to pop you, which is wrestling terms for make you laugh? So he's not happy. He's very much not happy about this. So the Usos leave dejected. Shotzi, beatdown recap. Ridge Holland is looking to tag team with Sheamus. Okay. But, I mean, again, hey, look, they might not be minorities, but in a way they are, okay? As a faint-skinned, red-headed individual, I consider myself a minority, with zero protections, by the way. In school, there was no, like, anti-racism against gingers. There was none of that. There was no acceptance of gingers, no. And there still isn't. Gingers are still looked at as minorities. But, of course, we're not to that extent. But I do consider us a minority. So, of course, he puts the two Irish fellas together. Whatever. I guess Rich Holland's a little bit more of the UK, but it's still, it's like UK and UK, sure, they'd be a good tag team. Alright, whatever. Shotzi is now a heel. She will be targeting Sasha and no longer needs her tank. That's kind of sad because the tank was a big part. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw a little bit later and all the women. The women's division of Raw is killing it. And this made me a little bit sad. It kind of took something away from Shotzi. She didn't need to get rid of the tank. She didn't need to. Where's that tank going to go? They're just going to put it into a WWE storage facility somewhere. Just keep the tank. Use the tank in evil ways. Hit the referee. Run someone's leg over. I don't know. Something, but you don't need to get rid of the tank. Los Lotharios out. Los Lotharios versus Cesaro and Mansoor. Nah. WWE ain't doing nothing with any of the four of these people. I skipped this match. Again, I was not in a good mood, and I didn't want to watch it. So Los Lotharios win clean. Okay, whatever. They're just going to pimp them up until They take on some of the tag team champions at some point, and they're just going to lose. They're never going to do anything with Angel Garza. They're never going to do anything with Humberto Carrillo. They're not going to do anything with any of those guys. Cesaro's already been proven that he's not going to get anything, and Mansoor's only ever going to win when they're in Saudi Arabia. So, junk. Get rid of it. Jeff Hardy in the back with Aaliyah. They bump into Sami Zayn. And this is an interesting segment because Jeff Hardy's kind of like introduces, hey, welcome to SmackDown. This is what we're doing. So it was okay, cool. I like that. They bump into Sami Zayn, who is SmackDown's elder statesman. So he's going in the back and he's saying, hey, I'm from SmackDown. I'm a SmackDown elder statesman. I've been here forever. I want to teach you. And so, of course, Sami Zayn is doing his whole gimmick. Drew out for an open challenge. And we're going to get Drew versus Ricochet. Ricochet with a feistier attitude than normal. Okay, I like this. Again, with the roster cuts, Ricochet wasn't one of them, and it's a shame. I kind of wish he was. Because, again, in WWE, he ain't going to do nothing. They're not going to do anything with Ricochet. It's cool that he can flip and jump around. WWE doesn't care. WWE wants big and muscly individuals. They're not going to do anything with Ricochet. It's very, very sad. Moonsault into a Claymore. This is an okay match. Pretty solid. Drew McIntyre wins, and again, alright, whatever. Like, I didn't think that Ricochet was gonna win, ever, not once. Happy Corbin comes out. Okay, this is where I'm confused. Is he not the Intercontinental Champion? Did he lose the IC title to somebody? I thought he was the Intercontinental Champion. I thought he cheated to win and became the Intercontinental Champion. I don't even remember, but I don't think he had the title tonight, so whatever. They're hosting the Viking Raiders in a talking segment. Ali looks the team with Ricochet in the back, gets called a jerk because he's a bad guy, and look for this hot rerun from 205 Live. Yes, okay. So here's what I'm imagining. They're going to do the same story that they did with Ali and Mansoor with Ricochet and Ali, except they're not going to be a tag team. It's just going to be a series of matches. It'll be like 5 matches in a row every single week, and it'll be he wins 2 and he wins 2, and then at a pay-per-view it'll be a big match. Whatever. I don't care. It's dumb. Trust me. Bank on it. That's going to be that's going to be the thing. It's going to be the thing. Very low fruit here with Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin, but they are picking fruit anyway. They're again, the jokes that they do here are so dumb. Dumb. And again, another segment. I just don't care. Vikings. Oh, you're still wearing your Halloween outfits? Wow, that's some good shit talk there. Moss and Corbin take on the Viking Raiders in tag team action. Baron Corbin, or Happy Corbin, and Moss take the count out loss. They don't want to deal with the Viking Warriors. And again, or Viking Raiders, Viking Warriors, whatever. They don't want to deal with them. So the matches count out, and that's it. And again, I put meh. So far in the show, it's been a lot of meh. I don't believe you, SmackDown. I don't believe you're doing anything with any of these people except for Roman Reigns, the Usos, and the New Day. Everybody else, I just don't believe you. Sami Zayn in the back with Hit Row. A little bit less hype about Hit Row for me since WWE dropped B-Fab in that big roster cut. So again, WWE can kiss my ass. Sami Zayn says that Hit Row's entrance 2 weeks ago when they debuted to the crowd sucked, and it wasn't as good as it could have been, and he wants to show Hit Row how it's done, so of course Hit Row is going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. So Sami Zayn comes out, does his entrance. Hit Row comes out, and they do their thing. Here's what they need to stop doing, okay? If I'm doing a rap, okay? The house and the mouse went up to the cat in the hat, slapped him in the face, threw a deck of cards, and it was an ace. Whatever. If I'm rapping, that's what it is, okay? Now, if Hit Row is rapping like that, and in the background you have bam, 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 and it's not like a rap beat, then it needs to go away. It needs to go away. If it's a freestyle, all right? If it's a freestyle rap, the music needs to be cut. WWE, stop shoving the music so loudly in the background while they're trying to hit their promo. You never do this for anybody else. Seth Rollins doesn't like talk as it's like dun 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 dun. He's not doing that while the song is playing. So don't do it for Hit Row, okay? Stop it. It's really annoying. So again, very irritated. edition of Profit Report, but we're getting through it. They got to stop playing the music. Hit Row doesn't allow Sammy to leave, and this was a little weird because they were like being like really mean to Sami Zayn, so it felt strange. Like the good guys were the bad guys, and the bad guy was the good guy. They were 3-on-1. It didn't make any sense, but they let Sami Zayn go, and they were just playing around. Whatever, it was okay. It was. I mean, it's been better than the rest of the show so far. But B-Fab not being there was really upsetting to me. So we get to the main event. King Woods takes on Jimmy Uso. Now, if King Woods wins, he will acknowledge the head of the table, Roman Reigns. If Jimmy Uso wins, he will bend the knee to King Woods. Roman Reigns elects to stay backstage. He's not going to go out there because he doesn't feel like he has to. This is the first better than decent match of the night, by the way, and it's the main event. So in terms of wrestling, not much. In terms of writing segments, not much. The only great thing so far has been King Woods and the Usos, and Roman Reigns and Kofi Kingston. King Woods holds the tights to get the win as Jimmy is about to bend the knee. And again, in this match, Woods looks great. He looks strong. And by the end of the night, he gets a good stare down. They're elevating Woods, and I like that. That's one of the few things that SmackDown did right in this episode. So as Jimmy is about to bend the knee to King Woods, Tribal Chief from behind, Superman punch, beat down to Woods and Kofi, 3-on-2, the Bloodline holds the ring. It's a good segment to end the show. I just wish the rest of the show was good. The middle of this show was just really sad, and I couldn't stop thinking, like, I cannot believe they've released those people. Fuck you. I don't want to watch this right now. I'm in a bad mood. Fuck you. So that's what I really felt as I was watching this show. And again, I'm not going to tell you that, WWE's like, oh, WWE's the best. It's the best. Or WWE sucks. I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's how I felt while watching the show. Here's what I was thinking while I was watching the show. Here's what I skipped because I don't think that WWE's going to do anything. I don't give a shit. I'm going to tell you those types of things sometimes because I feel like it's honest of me to tell you of those things. And it's nothing to do with the superstars or the roster or the writers even. It has everything to do with the producers and Vince McMahon. Those people and the decision makers in WWE, I mean, they better be selling the company because I am more than done with the bullshit. More than done. Okay. Again, good segment to end the show. I respect the treatment of King Woods. He is the shine. And I like that. And then on Big E on Raw, he is the shine. And Kofi Kingston's taking a step back. And I appreciate that they're giving that to King Woods. He deserves it. He's earned it. I think that it looks cool. It's fun. And I hope that they give him some good offense against Roman Reigns next week. Now, Roman Reigns will take on Woods next week in singles action. The Chief versus the King. And I really, really like that. And I really hope they advertise it and sell it because it deserves to be seen. It was a good episode of SmackDown, not a great episode of SmackDown. Did I overall waste my time? Was it profitable? I have to say no. If you're not a wrestling fan, I say no. If you're a wrestling fan, I say no. You know what you should do? You go and you watch the SmackDown recap from Monday Night Raw. Just watch Monday Night Raw's show, and when they recap SmackDown for a minute, that's how you should have watched SmackDown. Saves you so much time, only in a minute. And I just think that SmackDown was not profitable this past Friday night. It's unfortunate because I like so many of the superstars on SmackDown, and I like SmackDown as a brand. But I just don't care. I just don't care. Because I don't think WWE cares. I don't think they ever really much cared about most of the people in that mid-card. And it's a goddamn shame. And WWE doesn't deserve anybody's sympathy right now because they are assholes. They're complete assholes. Okay, we move on. We're going to talk about AEW Rampage now. All right, so let's talk about Rampage. AEW Rampage. This week's episode of Rampage, all right, has 3 matches on the card. Now, I didn't get to take notes on this, but I did watch it without taking notes, and then I watched Raw without taking notes, and then I came in and started my stream, and I was like, damn, I don't have notes. So we're watching, we're looking at the report, the Bleacher Report, but I did watch this show, and I enjoyed this show a lot. So we open up with the Eliminator Tournament match. We have Daniel Bryan coming out and having a match, and again, is another fantastic reason to watch the show. Why? Oh, hold up. Am I just looking at something random? This is the problem. I should have just taken my own notes. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh my god, the whole website is fucked. Ugh. Okay. So, it was Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is taking on Nick Jackson. The women's division had 3 of its most... Am I wrong here? This can't be right. October 1st. Yeah, this is like a whole fucking month ago. You know what? Never mind. I don't even want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. Let me look it up. Let me look up the right one. Sitting here going, wait, that didn't happen. What the fuck? November 5th. This is what we want. All Elite Wrestling, of course. That's where I should have went. Go to the source. That's the rule here. Go to the source. Okay. There we go. I thought so. I knew it was Daniel Bryan, but it was like Nick Jackson. That doesn't sound right at all. The American Dragon Bryan Danielson taking on Anthony Bowens of The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed have arrived. I'm a big fan of both of these guys. Danielson, of course, being the American Dragon, very indie-rific superstar, big in the WWE, has a very successful and famous wife. And then you have Anthony Bowens, who is not very successful or famous at all. But I think that these people were in Missouri, and I think Anthony Bowens is from Kansas City, maybe? I could be wrong. But it's cool. Hometown, so they're giving him a little bit of like, oh, you get a match. So it's really cool. And this is a great match for Bryan Danielson to be like, I'm still wrestling. I'm wrestling somebody on the roster, and they're going to give me a fight. So what I really like about this, of course, is The Acclaimed. And The Acclaimed come out, whenever they come out, they do this battle rap, shit talk type promo. And they do it amazingly. And Max Caster is good at what he does. A lot of people were upset at Max Caster for what he said a few months back, and he did get suspended. But I still like it. I still like the gimmick. And I really, really like what he said here. It was perfect. It got the crowd involved in this match that is like whatever. So Danielson is 3 in the men's singles division, and The Acclaimed is number 4 in the tag division. I don't know why that matters, but whatever. And then this was just a good match, and I'm not even going to cover the match because AEW does professional wrestling correctly. They do it correctly. So it's really, really good. I recommend that you go and watch AEW Rampage. So Danielson grabs Bowens' arms and stomping on his head, and then he hit the label lock. Owens taps out. Bowens, not Owens. Bowens taps out, and that's it. Pretty good match. Extends Danielson's winning towards this tournament and winning towards going after Kenny Omega, because I mean, we're going to be talking about Full Gear. Oh, is that this weekend? Oh, I think it might be. Oh my goodness. I think it is. Is Full Gear on Sunday or Saturday? Ooh, nice. I'm very, very excited. So we're going to get to see Danielson. So this is just a good, like, warm-up match for Full Gear for Danielson. It was good. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston are going to happen. This is going to happen face-to-face, all right? So CM Punk comes out. He's on one side. Kingston comes out. He's on the other side. And CM Punk is very like, I don't know what you have a problem with me for. I don't know why you hate me so much. Kingston goes, because you were fake. You were completely fake. You never gave me a chance. You looked down on me. The only thing I think missing in this was you didn't like me because I wasn't able to be like you, Punk. I wasn't able to not do drugs. I wasn't able to not do alcohol. I wasn't able to do this. I was wondering if they were going to go there. Was it going to get that real that Kingston and Punk actually had some real life issues because of their disagreements at the time of drug use and or alcohol use? That would have been like the cherry on top. But this was really, really good. Punk, of course, feels disrespected. He wanted to interview. He wanted that time, and then Kingston got mad at him and he got interrupted, so he didn't have any time. So that's what we're doing here, and they build this within 2 weeks of a pay-per-view, and they build it. Again, we're going to talk about Raw and how they build Survivor Series in 2 weeks, and we'll tell you what happens on that side of the fence. But over here on AEW, they're giving actual reason, actual story, actual lore, actual history about why these two might not like each other. And it just so happens that Punk wanted in to that tournament to take over John Moxley's spot. Didn't get it because of Kingston. So it's just that one. It's everything just seems to click in AEW, and it just keeps going. So they get into a bit of a war of words here, and then it gets really heated, and CM Punk a little bit lifts the mask and goes, I didn't like you. I didn't think you could do it because you couldn't do it. You failed. You think you're mad at me? You're not mad at me. You're mad at yourself. You failed. You're the one who couldn't measure up. And that pisses Kingston off because he doesn't like being called a bum. And that's basically what CM Punk called him. So these guys just had a crazy intense altercation. It was an incredible segment. It got talked about a lot. A lot of people had some things to say about it, like they didn't like it. I thought it was very, very good in terms of like, okay, we got a reason to watch these guys fight. It's not just CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston like WWE would do, where it's like, oh, look at these two superstars. They're both good. Here you go. There's a reason that they're fighting. And that's what WWE needs to do more of. Again, we'll talk about Raw here in just a second. In the back, we have Tony Schiavone interviewing Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express. Christian Cage, Jurassic Express, challenge SuperClick to a Falls Count Anywhere match at Full Gear. Okay, all right. TBS Women's Championship Tournament first round match. Bunny versus Red Velvet. And you have Jade Cargill, who I believe is going to be watching the match because her next match is going to be with the winner of this one. So we're watching the match, and it is okay. Whatever. Again, AEW has some issues. One of them is the women's division. It's not nearly as good as like Raw's division of women, or even SmackDown's, I want to say. Like SmackDown has an okay division as well. And I like AEW's women's talent, but they're just not there yet. DMD, Dr. Britt Baker, perfect. Really good, really good. But a few of those superstars feel like they just need something more, a little bit more to push them into becoming a really good division. And they're almost there. I don't think Ruby Rose is it. I would very much be interested in seeing Ember Moon go to that division, though. I mean, BFAB, I don't think she was the best of wrestlers in terms of wrestling ability. She was very young, but I'd be very, very happy to see her as well. And then, of course, you've got, what was her name? Wera Loca, Bougie, bad. Frankie Monet, who was Taya Valkyrie in the indie scenes before she went to WWE. She got released as well. And again, just more disrespect from WWE every time. It's like you're getting slapped in the face. So it's really, really annoying. Looks like Jade Cargill is going to be facing Red Velvet for that specific match, because Red Velvet does indeed beat the Bunny, and well, whatever. Main event time, we have Dark Order's John Silver versus the Elite's Adam Cole Bay. Boom, with the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. So there's a lot of brawl here, a lot of craziness here, and the Dark Order comes out. They brawl with the Young Bucks. Silver gets the Liger Bomb on Cole. Cole kicks out. This is, again, just AEW delivers the goods in terms of matches. You take somebody as big as Adam Cole, and by big I mean popular, because he's not very big. Big is unpopular. And you take somebody as almost insignificant but kind of cool, John Silver, and you give them this, and you give them a reason to fight, and the match is good. And it was a perfect main event. 2 super kicks from Cole, running knee, and that's enough to put Silver away. And there you go. There is your AEW Rampage. And I don't think we've had a Rampage or a Dynamite yet that I didn't think was profitable. This show understands wrestling. They get wrestling. They treat their talent like family, unlike WWE, who just fuck off. Just goodbye. Goodbye, superstars. Oh, but I almost died for you. Fuck you, Keith Lee. Get out of here. But my husband is on Raw right now. Fuck you, Taya Valkyrie. Get out of here. Fuck off. That's how it feels. Like WWE is very, very like disrespectful. And it gets to a point that you don't want to see or deal with it anymore. It's irritating. It's annoying. It's almost as annoying as I'm gonna be on Twitter. Should I be annoying right now? Is there something negative to say? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really have a ticked off tweet right now that doesn't have anything to do with Keith Lee. But right now, like Taya Valkyrie, Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Ember Moon, all of these women who are amazing, and all of these men who are amazing that just got clipped from WWE. It just pisses me off. It just makes me upset. Makes me mad. So there it is, the AEW Rampage, and you want to know, was it a profitable show? Was it a show that you would run out to go see? Yes. Yes, it's only an hour long. 3 matches. 2 of them were really, really good. The middle one needs, again, more character work, although I do like what they present. But it's, it is what it is. Oh god, am I on WWE right now? Sorry, Jesus Christ. Like, I can't even scroll down. What is wrong with this? Oh god. What is this website, bro? There we go. Oh my god, this website is so bad. Jesus. Okay. So we are from Louisville, Kentucky in Raw. We'll talk about Monday Night Raw now. And Monday Night Raw just got over. It just got done just now. So I'm coming into it fresh. Now we've had Smackdown, which we didn't like. We thought it was not profitable. And then we had AEW Rampage, which we thought was profitable. Now, here's what is the difference between a guy like me and some average person on Twitter. Some random Joe Schmo who has to be very noble, right? It's really annoying. Sorry, I'm going into fucking Queen Zelina. Has to be very noble about what they post. I don't really much feel that way anymore. I could give a shit less, honestly, about what anyone thinks or says about me or about what I think on Twitter. I'm just getting too old for this shit. And I'm only 29. I'm only 29. And that's how I feel. Can you imagine in 20 years how annoying I'm going to be? Oh, you all better hope that the Taco Bell takes me in the next 10. I'm going to be insufferable. All right, WWE Raw. We're opening up, and we're going to have the main event. Big E versus... Oh, I'm sorry. We look back at Big E versus Kevin Owens in the non-title match where Seth Rollins knocked out Big E, and Kevin Owens tried to scoop up the win. And now we're opening right up, and you have Kevin Owens talking to Big E, saying, hey, I'm not a bad guy. I've been trying for so long to prove to people that I'm not going to backstab my teammates. I am a nice guy. And that's what we're really talking about. However, we noted last week in the Profit Report when we talked about Raw that this Kevin Owens, him looking down at a dead Big E and then looking over at Rollins, who got involved, and then looking back at Big E and then deciding to go for the pin, that's a heel move. That's a bad guy move. So again, he's moving to the heel side. He hasn't got there yet. We'll see what happens here tonight as Owens is continuing to try to prove that he is not a bad guy. Big E says he just doesn't much care. He's putting cocoa butter all over his body. He's just doing his thing. And Big E tonight, I think, also takes a very important step, and we'll talk about it. Rollins comes out, and he's going to hit a little bit of a promo here. Rollins is carrying the number 1 contender contract, and he, does Rollins things. He says he's going to come out, and he's going to win the Survivor Series for Team Raw, and all of this stuff. And Rollins just, again, this is one of those things where you have a character who's here, and his gimmick is here, and it's here, but it can never ever top this, because this gimmick he has is just like stopping him from excelling. So he sets up the whole angle of the night. He talks about how Kevin Owens is a two-faced individual. He says, well, look at what happened last week. Look what happened. So Seth Rollins is stirring the pot. And that's basically all it is. Setting up the story arc of the show of Kevin Owens. Can he be trusted? And we find out at the end of the show. So he's talking about how he knows Kevin Owens, all this other crazy stuff. Whatever. Owens out, and he is going to get in his face. He's going to get mad at Seth Rollins, but of course Rollins runs away, retreats, and he's just gone. He's just gone. The camera even turns around, and he's completely gone, disappeared, and then of course Owens, being mad, takes contract, throws it up the ramp, whatever. We get Omos out, because he took out the Street Profits last week, and he continues to mess with the Street Profits. So we've got an 8-man tag match coming up, okay? We have AJ Styles, Omos, and the Dirty Dogs, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, okay? They are the bad guys in this 8-man tag team match. Now you've got RK Bro and the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, and they're the good guys of the side of the match. And they're going to have an 8-man tag team match. Now the whole gimmick here is, can these teams work together? Can they cooperate? If they can cooperate, they're probably going to win the match. So that's what we have here. The whole match is very entertaining, and I think it's a good segment. I think it's important to keep Randy Orton and RK Bro strong and not dumb faces, because they even look at the Street Profits and they go, we're better than you. They look at Dirty Dogs saying, we're better than you. And right now they're really building something cool with Randy Orton and Omos that I think is super special. And they've done it twice already. Last week, we had Randy Orton about to whoop ass on Omos, and as soon as he was about to, they cut the segment and they go to the next segment. Now, I thought at the time, you know what? I don't like that. You've teased it. Give it to us. This week, they do it again. But this time, Randy Orton's about to tag in, right? And he wants in. Somehow, Riddle gets in, and Riddle gets destroyed. Omos destroys so many people, blah, blah, blah. Randy Orton beaten down, and Orton wants to take out Omos, and the crowd's cheering, and they want to see it, and it just doesn't happen. So again, they're teasing Orton and Omos having a singles match, and I'm excited for that. I'm very, very excited to see that evolve, because I want to see Randy Orton hit an RKO on Omos. That's the end of the story there. That's the end of the story, is Randy Orton hitting an RKO on Omos. Now, Ziggler in this match is kind of attacking Randy Orton, doing his thing. So at the end of the match, Orton hits him with an RKO. I mean, I don't really know who won, but it seems like AJ Styles and Omos, whatever. Like this, the match is what the match is. It's more important to me than the story. Now, Ziggler does get the win. It was a sneaky win, but Randy Orton and the other 3 members of that team win the day because he hits an RKO on Dolph Ziggler. Whatever. Oh man, these notes are in depth. I thought my notes were long. My goodness. And in this we have a disagreement. We have a disagreement between Bobby Roode and we have a disagreement between AJ Styles. So Omos gets involved and there's all sorts of craziness. Dolph Ziggler picks up the win though. It was fine. Whatever. So we go to the next segment, and Kevin Owens is interrupting Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. They're about to go out for some reason with Adam Pearce. One thing we need to talk about here is the Survivor Series teams were announced like Saturday morning on Twitter. Okay. They do one really good thing with this, with the women. And I think even here with Rey Mysterio and Dominic, but it's so strange because the last time we saw Adam Pearce, he was beaten the hell up by Brock Lesnar, and then he suspended Brock Lesnar indefinitely and fined him $1 million. And here we are now, and Adam Pearce is fine, and he's going, well, I want Raw to win. Like, bro, don't you run Raw and SmackDown? So you're telling me you play favorites as, like, an authority figure on the show? Okay. Or is Sonya gonna take over the SmackDown? I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. So Kevin Owens is interrupting. He's trying to talk to Rey Mysterio. He's like, "Hey Rey, you know me, man. I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy, right? I'm a good guy." So we're talking about that long overarching story of Kevin Owens. Can we trust him, right? Rey Mysterio says, "Hey, dog, my knees. Oh man, I gotta go out and talk to Adam Pearce. It's so stressful." And it's like, wait, what? Because if you didn't look on Twitter, it's like, wait, what? Why is he going to go talk to Adam Pearce? Why does Adam Pearce care about Rey Mysterio? What is happening here? I was so confused. It was insane to me how odd this segment was. How it was like, felt like it was written 7 hours ago. And they're like, hey, this is what we're doing. Good luck. and they gave it to like Rey Mysterio because all night tonight he's all over the place. Like he didn't know what he was saying, like me without notes. So we go to the ring and we get Dominic and Rey, and Adam Pearce is in the ring with a mic. And again, I ask, why is Adam Pearce the person in this role? Why couldn't it be anybody else? Very interesting. Okay, whatever. But at least he wasn't written off the show and released with everybody else. So at least he still has a job. We come back and Pearce is talking about how everyone on Team Raw is a former champion. Everyone on Team Raw is a bona fide superstar. Except for Dominic Mysterio. And this is like very sad because they kind of zoom in on Dominic's face and he's like, and Pearce, and for whatever weird reason, Pearce is like being like antagonistic for some reason. I don't know why he's being so mean to Dominic, but he's like, you don't deserve it. It's like, man, like there's some like psychology projection happening here. But it's very, very strange. So he is going to have a match with this guy. And then Adam Pearce leaves. And you're sitting there like, ooh, who's he going to pick? What's he going to do? So it's very, very interesting. Bobby Lashley returns. And the match is, if Dominic can beat Bobby, he's in the match. If Bobby beats Dominic, Bobby's in the match. So we get Bobby Lashley versus Dominic Mysterio. And this match is a beatdown. And it's a long beatdown. And he stops him from tapping out. Bobby Lashley sells his character perfectly. And again, Dominic just gets the short end of the stick. How many times is Dominic going to get the short end of the stick before he snaps? How many times is Dominic going to allow his father to get him into shitty situations like this? When does Dominic betray Rey Mysterio? That's what I want to know. So, Bobby Lashley is now on Team Raw, and I think that that's okay. I think that's okay. You don't need Dominic Mysterio on a Survivor Series team. I thought it was weird when they announced it. I was like, okay, whatever. So we're talking to Big E now. We're recapping his issues with Alpha Academy last week in the backstage, and they do this a lot with Big E recently, where he's slowly talking to people in the backstage, and people don't really respect him all that much. So he's talking to Chad Gable last week, and he's talking to Otis, Alpha Academy, and they have this sing, and I was like, ooh, I like this. They're giving Chad Gable something. They're giving Otis something. And I like it. It's great. It's good. So we get Big E versus Chad Gable. And I love this match. It's a great match. Not only is it a fantastic match, but it's like what WWE should be doing all the time. Creative matches that feel interesting. Like Chad Gable might have a chance or an opportunity to win. And in this, he did. Again, they gave him a lot of time to show what he could do. So Big E does win the match. Otis goes into the ring and they have a stare down. So you're sitting there like, ooh, I want to see that match too. Otis versus Big E. Okay, all right. Okay, I like this. We get Kevin Owens in the backstage with R-Truth. This had me laughing my ass off. My niece, I was hilariously just laughing and I couldn't stop because Kevin Owens is in the backstage with R-Truth. And he says to R-Truth, just like he was talking about Rey Mysterio earlier, he's like, come on now, you know that I'm a good guy. You're a locker room leader. We pan over, we see R-Truth, and of course that's the joke. R-Truth, a little crazy, a little out there. So he asks Truth if he believes him. He's like, Truth, you gotta believe me. You believe me, right? And R-Truth goes, yeah, I believe you. Like I believe in the werewolf and Bigfoot, and the earth is flat, but only a little bit, and sometimes round. And you start saying stuff. And the thing that, like, blew my mind and was hilarious was, and that leprechaun in the hood, I saw him with my own eyes. Because that's a viral video of that group in Alabama, those people in Alabama who saw a leprechaun, or they think they see a leprechaun up in the tree, and it's like a news blooper. And he's like, who else saw a leprechaun? And then he's like laughing, and everyone, like, it's really, really funny. They have like a horrible sketch of a fake leprechaun. One girl pulls up in a car, and they go, ma'am, did you see the leprechaun? And she's like, I could have been a crackhead. It's fantastic. It's so good. So him referencing that video just made me love R-Truth. R-Truth continues to be one of the funniest things about WWE in a very, very long time. So we will get Rollins versus Owens in the main event. But here we go. We're continuing on. The women's division is backstage. And okay, we have another great segment here. And another segment that I was like, this is how you showcase your women. So we're talking about all of these women. We're talking about the 5 that were selected for the Survivor Series. And then we're even talking, this is great too, we're talking about the women that were not selected. Because that was my thing, was like, how are you going to put Rhea Ripley, one half of the tag team champions, on the team, but not Nikki Ash, almost superhero? How are you gonna sell this to me, WWE? And they do it fantastically. So you get Doudrop, who's upset that Bianca is on the team when she just lost, because all 5 members of the team are getting a Raw title opportunity in a 5-way match tonight. So Doudrop's like, well, why does she get to be on the team and in that match? She got beat last week. Isn't it time for somebody new? So Doudrop has some issues with Bianca Belair. Nikki Ash has some issues because she's not on the team either. But then you have Carmella and Queen Zelina going, you don't deserve to be on the team all the way down there. And then you have Rhea Ripley in the back going, hey, that's my teammate. So the whole women's division is like fighting and yelling, and it's amazing. Liv Morgan is saying, I deserve to be the champion, and everyone laughs at her for that. Like, it's just really, really solid. Fantastic segment, showcasing the entirety of the Raw women's division. And then even when they do this match coming up later, it's excellent. It's excellent. And I really, really love this. And the whole time, Queen Zelina is just like doing her little like prom wave, and she just does this. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. Okay. So we see Bobby Lashley earlier Survivor Series, Rey Mysterio on the backstage. Oh, okay. And again, we get Rey Mysterio in the back. He is checking up on Dominic, who just got a huge beatdown from Bobby Lashley. He's getting interviewed, and he's just stumbling over his words. Again, like me, without me taking my own notes, me trying to read off of other people's synopses of these shows. You get Rey Mysterio in a Lucha Things promo, like a Kalisto-like promo, where he's like, doesn't know what to say, and he's like, and why would they, Lashley and come back, I'm mad. And it's like really weird and disjointed, like they did it live and they didn't have time to reshoot it. Again, leads credence to the theory that maybe this whole storyline was written up about 3-4 hours before the show, and that's when they gave it to Rey Mysterio, where he's like, wait, we're doing what? That's not what we were doing before. So that's what it sounds like to me, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Dominic's not doing so good, and Rey Mysterio's mad at Bobby Lashley, so it appears that it will be seeing some Rey versus Bobby Lashley soon. Although I'm pretty sure, like a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago, maybe actually a year ago, we already saw this. I'm almost certain. It doesn't feel like a fresh matchup to me. I'm not very excited for it, but whatever. Austin Theory doing his whole Tyler Breeze ripoff thing with the selfies is annoying, and he just leaves out of scene. That'll come back up later. We get a WWE 24/7 title match with Drake Maverick taking on Reggie the Champion, and my niece doesn't know about the trampoline thing to make him jump, so I was like, can't look. And my niece was like, wait, what? And she looked at me and was like, how'd he do that? So she doesn't know wrestling magic. So we have a little baby trampoline in our basement, and we were watching wrestling. I was like, I could do that. She was like, no, you can't. I was like, I can. And I did it, and because I'm rather unathletic at the age of 29, and to be honest, my entire life, I wasn't the best. I mean, I was a swimmer for a while, and that's probably the only reason that I'm as thin as I am. Jumped, and I can't do the same thing, but it was a good time. I watched wrestling with my niece. Maybe that's why it was so fun, because I was watching it with my niece. But we do get this 24/7 title match, and Reggie does Reggie things. Reggie does some wrestling moves here too, and I appreciated that. I like that. This is actually another really solidly fun segment. So we get the match, and we get a new champion. We get Drake Maverick winning the title, and after the title, we get Akira Tozawa, who comes out and takes it from Drake Maverick. And then after that, we get Corey Graves off the commentary booth. He comes up. He becomes the new champion. Behind him, we have behind him, we have Byron Saxton coming down and scooping up the title from Corey Graves. And that was fantastic. And then we get Drake Maverick again. And then it goes back to Reggie. And Reggie just escapes up the ramp. Now, this was a really well-written 24/7 title segment. Maybe one of the better ones that we've seen in a very, very long time. Hurt Business is out there, which is very sad. And then they all run backstage. But it was a good segment. and I felt like it deserved to be like appreciated a little bit because I enjoyed it. I was enjoying what I was seeing. And again, it just leads credence to, hey, you might not like WWE, you might not like what they're doing in terms of like their business decisions, you might not even like what they're doing in terms of their story decisions, but there are small things that you can take and go, well, that was lovely. That was very good. But the rest of this can kiss my ass. Winner of the Fatal 5-Way #1 contenders match will be getting an opportunity at Becky Lynch's Raw Women's Championship. So Becky Lynch comes out and she is dolled up. She's got a very Hollywood-esque vibe to her. She has the horse ponytail hairdo. You can see it on her Twitter. She looks very, very crazy, very, very good. And they say, well, we're going to have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Now, my niece is a big Charlotte fan. She loves the Queen. I'm a big Becky Lynch fan. I love the man. So we're going to have a good time, I'm sure, when that match happens. And that card actually does look interesting, Survivor Series. So WWE has something. I just wish that they would do something with it. It's very, very sad when their game gets delayed, their roster cutting everybody, and it's really hard to be a WWE fan. But we get this match, and this is a good fun match. I like this match. I would say go watch this match. I could go through everything, but this is maybe one of the better matches on the show besides maybe one other. So I really, really enjoyed this. And of course, Becky Lynch on commentary is just so good. I do note that Rhea Ripley reminds me of the girl who goes, I don't want to do any women's wrestling maneuvers. I want to do only men's wrestling maneuvers. So she's sitting there doing scoop slams and things like that, trying to kind of put over her moveset. And I like that because it differentiates her from everybody else. Vega is another noteworthy thing. She comes out in the middle, right? So then Rhea Ripley's making her entrance to cheers and everything. And the whole time, Queen Zelina is just like, oh, they're cheering for me. And she's just like waving, and it's great. It's fantastic. So it's all very good. Liv Morgan will get the roll up here on Carmella and does indeed win the match to go 1-on-1 with Becky Lynch. She even steps up to Becky Lynch, and a good face off here. One thing I was concerned about with Liv Morgan is they're going to have to do a lot to convince me that Liv Morgan is at that same level as Becky Lynch. And that's what this is all about. It's not about her winning and beating Becky Lynch. That's not what it's about at all. It is about elevating Liv Morgan to that level, right? Getting her closer so that she can maybe one day, perhaps, get to that spot. So that's what they do here. And Becky Lynch backs off. And she just kind of like has to like back off. She's like, whatever. So this is very, very good. Now, Seth Rollins approaches Big E backstage, and he says, hey, I'm not looking for trouble, okay? I just want you to know, Kevin Owens, bad guy, right? And Big E says, no, don't worry. I'll be out on commentary. I'll make sure everything's just good, just fine. So we get Seth Rollins taking on Kevin Owens, and this is a fantastic match. My brother came home, and he usually sleeps downstairs, so he was getting ready for bed, and I was like, this episode was actually pretty good. And he was like, yeah, it's because Kevin Owens was on it. Oh, yeah, I think so. Kevin Owens is the focus of the show. Kevin Owens is making the show better. Interesting. Big E, focus of the show. Show is better. They do our true skit. Show is better. They focus the women's division, and they bring everybody up to Becky Lynch's level and Bianca Belair's level. The show is amazing. The show is great. The tag team division is interesting. Fantastic. You have a good show so far. And then you get this main event, and this main event is so good. And again, this is probably the best match on the card tonight. However, I do appreciate that women's matchup. This is a matchup that just is fantastic. It's really Owens' swan song before he becomes a heel. So I do recommend that you go see it. We get a count out because they battle outside. The referee's counting. They get behind the announce table, right? And we're up to like 8, 9. Seth Rollins gets past Big E. Big E doesn't see Kevin Owens behind him. Big E trips and falls, and Kevin Owens trips and falls on Big E because Big E's in the way. 10. Seth Rollins wins the match by countout, which is great. Protects Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins wins the match, and it furthers Kevin Owens and Big E not liking each other. And Big E's just sitting there like, whatever. whatever. All night, Big E has done amazing things in terms of like stare downs with Otis and being in the background going, I don't like anybody. I'm the WWE champion, and he's owning that shit, and I like it. Big E is even Austin Theory comes around and goes like, oh, I'm gonna take a selfie, and he smacks away the phone. It's great. This is fantastic. So when Big E has those matches with Otis, with Chad Gable, with Kevin Owens, or with Austin Theory, there's reason for it, and that's fantastic. This is AEW style booking, and they need to do that. So Seth Rollins wins the match, and because Kevin Owens is really upset, he beats down Big E. So this is fantastic. Big E is down as officials try to keep Owens away from him. Raw thankfully goes off the air. Interesting. So it looks like this guy at This Is Mark. Okay, you know what? I'm going to click this. Let's see what he had to say about WWE Raw. Let's see. Oh my goodness, he hasn't really said anything. An internet wrestling community vet. He hasn't said anything since April on his Twitter. So I don't know why he would link it at the bottom. I'm assuming that it's because he got a job. Interesting. What the hell? Oh my goodness, this guy is interesting. And again, I just, some people, like, it's just how the world works. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Was he like? Is he something special? I don't. I don't know this guy, but he is from like South Carolina, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, but this guy, I guess, wrote the notes. He did the thing. So I guess thank you, Mark Middleton, on Twitter. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I mean, me and him. He's a little bit above me on Twitter, and I haven't done shit. So Mark, hey guy, cool, but Raw thankfully goes off the air. Thankfully, Raw was at least decent this week. I appreciated Raw this week compared to other weeks. So the question, Mark Middleton, to me and on this show is, do I think that Raw was profitable? Do I think it was worth watching, taking 3 hours of your time on a Monday night that might have been busy, that might have been full of stress and crazy things? Was it profitable? I think yes. I think it was. Seemingly, Mark doesn't agree, but I think the focus on Big E, the focus on Kevin Owens, the focus on the women's division, the focus on the tag division, and how well they're treating those characters, I think it was worth it. There was a weird little thing with Adam Pearce in there that didn't quite make sense, of him wanting Raw to win, even though he runs both Raw and SmackDown, but whatever. I mean, you could have said anything, but you went ahead and did the brand split thing again. It doesn't have to be a brand split, okay? Survivor Series is about team versus team. It can be brand versus brand, but it not necessarily. It doesn't have to be. But whatever. So that's that. It is what it is. And there you go. There's your wrestling. Now, I have an early morning Veterans Day assembly to go to tomorrow, which is why I sped through these reviews. Also, WWE recently has made me not very happy in terms of their business decisions and how they do their business. So we made them a little quick and a little bit, not happy. I know a lot of people want to see T-Mode, which is my WWE 2K series, kind of like a blend between using exhibition and the tournament function of those games, and then creating a universe out of that and keeping track and all of this fun stuff. But the games keep getting delayed. We haven't had 2K21. We're not going to get 2K22 because Keith Lee probably was in it. Ember Moon was probably in it. Greg Hamilton probably did all of the announcing for it. I don't believe that they're going to be releasing this game. They're going to scrub all of those people out, and all of the work that went into that game and to 2K21 and all these other games that didn't come out from WWE. They need to fix that shit. I'm not going to play on 2K19 forever. I'm not going to do it. And it just makes me mad that WWE is profit earnings this year. Record profits. and they can't find it in the budget to keep Keith Lee and actually give him something good to do. Mia Yim, Taya Valkyrie, Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, and that's only 5. They released so many others. Ember Moon. Like, what the fuck? We can't do anything with these people? We couldn't figure out anything with these people. B-Fab, who was in a group making their debut on a brand, and you cut them off at the knees. For what reason? For what reason? To piss me off? Because it worked? So if your goal was to piss me off, WWE, you've done it. You did it. But I do still think that Raw was profitable. Look, hey, T-Mode will come back when I want to do T-Mode. And if I'm not going to get a new game until next year, it might be until next year. It's honestly like that for me. I don't need to play T-Mode. I know you guys want to see T-Mode, but it's at this point, it's like, why bother? Why bother? Like, they're just going to have, like, Keith Lee on that roster or whatever. They don't even have Keith Lee on 2K19. So it's like, in a weird way, I'm going to be playing T-Mode, and the only good character models that I have are Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and a few others that are prominent, like the New Day or whatever. It's going to be like 10% of my roster. So it pisses me off, and it makes me upset that that's going down. And it just is what it is. It's like, hey, if T-Mode doesn't come back because WWE keeps continuing to do shitty business decisions that piss me off, then that's just how it goes. So this has been a rant. I've been angry, and I have a thing to do tomorrow. Oh, okay. I mean, there's a good point in the chat. Good point. When you piss off a fan base, they don't like you. Now, we're getting brought up over here. Shy Guy in any game but tennis and car racing. And that's a valid point. A valid point. Where's the respect being put on the wrestlers here? In Mario Party, which is a game that me and Aries played actually last night, I loved it. Why? Because they took the old games and they revamped them. They made them new. They redid the graphics and everything. They gave you the same old feel. It felt like an old Mario Party, and you're like, yes, this is what I want to see. Thank you. You're giving me what I want. Thank you. And then an example of when they don't do that is like Animal Crossing. Multiplayer. We're going to give you multiplayer. Great. What does that look like? I mean, it's still pretty shitty. You had 15 years. 15 years to develop Animal Crossing from the original game to the new one. And all you did was just add more shit. Not only that, they took good shit out. They took out like the Lost and Found, the garbage dump. It feels less like a town and more like your planet, your world, and you get to choose who lives in it. It's like, no, I wanted to live in a city. The whole point of Animal Crossing was that you're new to a town, you're starting over, and you have to earn your place in the town. That was the goal, right? Whereas like in these new Animal Crossing games, it's like, hey, here's your house. You can put all this shit in it. Here's all the shit. And if you want to buy it with real money, then you can do that. And that's all that new game is. So when WWE does this and when Nintendo does this, it pisses me off when they make shitty business decisions. And I don't like that. But when they make good business decisions, like Mario Party Superstars, I will happily buy that. I will happily invest in it. And I will happily use my money and my Twitter to be like, hey, go support these guys. They did a good job. So, Raw, profitable. Smackdown, not profitable. Rampage, profitable. If you're a wrestling fan, if you don't watch wrestling much anymore, I recommend those 2 shows. Forget about Smackdown, watch it in the recap of Raw, and we will be here again on Wednesday. It's going to be a busy week, folks. It's going to be a very, very, very busy week, and it all starts already. It's already started. Today I had to train somebody for my old job, which was crazy. I had to deal with multiple students, not crazy bad things, but it was just a stressful day, but good stress, right? A lot of just busyness, okay? A lot of planning happening today, but tomorrow's a very, very big, important assembly honoring veterans, so I have to make appearances, and that's very, very early in the morning, which is kind of annoying because I wanted to do other stuff, but life, you know? it just is what it is. So Wednesday is going to be a very interesting day for me. I will have notes because I don't like the website. I don't like how these people took notes. They literally wrote down every single thing that these people did. Suplex, blah, 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 blah. It's like, whoa, we don't need that. Those notes are like novels. It was ridiculous going through those notes. So I'll take my own notes and I won't make that mistake again. So we'll be talking about NXT 2.0 on Wednesday. We'll talk about AEW Dynamite on Wednesday as well on the next Profit Report. And at this point, hell, by Wednesday, we might even be talking about either or the Raiders losing their entire offensive unit except for Derek Carr to criminal charges, or we might be talking about how the WWE was sold unannounced by Vince McMahon, because that's the only logical thing in my head, that he would be doing these crazy things. It's been rumored for months, and now I'm just going, I don't know why you would do this unless you're trying to cheapen the load that someone would have to be burdened with to buy this product. And it's interesting. I don't know. I'm curious. Let's see. It's been 2 years since AEW. And I think the year before that, Smackdown got its Fox deal, or pretty close to it. So I think we're about 2 years away from WWE's big contracts being up from the USA Network and Fox. I'm pretty sure. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. Will they just buy it from Vince and do their own thing, put somebody in charge who knows the business? I don't know. I have no idea. But what WWE is doing now screams to me that they don't give a shit, and they're just kind of like limping along as they die, which is sad because it used to be something amazing. And every day you'd go to work and you'd talk about what happened on Raw the night before. Did you watch The Rock? Did you see what he did? Hey, that asshole Triple H. Did you see what he did? Ric Flair. Did you see what they did? And now it's like if you're a wrestling fan, it's like, oh, you watch that? It's weird. It's weird. It's what anime used to be. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So when WWE does this shit, it makes me pissed off and angry. Okay, I'm done ranting. It was a very angry episode of the Profit Report, but deservedly so. I'm feeling very unprofessionally. Professional Keith Lee is a very respectable, professional guy. I respect him so much that he has that much class to be able to not get angry. I don't know. Maybe it's my Irish temper, but I get really pissed off, and I'm pissed off tonight. But I'm also happy, which is what we've all been talking about tonight. Is I'm mad, but I'm happy, and I'm entertained, and it was a good day, but I'm pissed off. It's a very unique cocktail of emotions here. And with that being said, Profit Report, we're done here. I'm gonna go for the next 17 minutes. I'm gonna go do something. I might play a game of Mario Party and just finish watching this debate. But I digress. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for popping in. Thank you, real life people, for popping in. Thank you for people post haste popping in. Thank you to my haters who are mad at me for saying that Eternals doesn't suck. You suck, because you do. If you think that Eternals is a 4 out of 10, you're out of your mind, delusional. You shouldn't watch movies anymore. Fuck you. In the kindest way possible. Now, if you said, hey, it was anywhere from like a 6 to a 9, I'll be like, okay. Yeah. If you say it's a 10 out of 10, I'm going to go, whew, you must be a big fan. That's your opinion. Critically, I don't think I agree. But anywhere in that range, I'm okay. But if you're giving it a 2 out of 10, a 1 out of 10 for being woke or some shit, shut the fuck up. Get off Twitter. Go get a job. Fucking idiot. But everybody else, have a great night. Ciao. Enjoy. See ya. Oh, we have some stuff. Give me Shy Guy, cowards. Hey, your message is being checked by mods. Has not been sent. Oh, even mods are keeping a guy away from me. Even mods are keeping Shy Guy away from me. Oh, well, I just have to allow it. There you go. Done. Boom. Allowed. Renfro. Yes. Renfro. Uh, are you talking about the Raiders? Like, by the way, guys, today the cornerback for the Raiders released, let go, and so the two number one picks from 2020, or was it the 2021 draft? One of the two, I think it was the 2020 draft, are gone now because one of them is an idiot who likes to drink and drive and speed 126 miles per hour and killing people. So he's a fucking doofus. He did that stupid shit, and then he got fired. And now the cornerback is fired. Chucky, the coach, is fired. So we have the special teams coach, our head coach now. It's the Raiders. This is what we do here. And yet, somehow, we still win. I don't know how. If we could just figure shit out. If what's his face? And again, redheads, right? I was talking about them being a minority. This is one of the redheads, Mark Davis, or Mark or Al. I think one of the Davises this is. Fix your shit, bro. Fix your shit. Honestly, you should have stuck with Chucky. He shouldn't have been fired. I know he should have been fined. He should have been thrown in front of the media and beaten on the head with a shoe or some shit. Something. But you shouldn't have fired him. The other two deserve to be fired. But the coach shouldn't have been, and we should have let's get connectivity. Let's figure this shit out, okay? Okay? Raiders? God, I'm in a bad mood. Goodbye. Ciao. Done.